Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, and today I have you a 1 vs 1 on Wrecked Train, a personal map of favorite of my own. For some reason I just don't quite like the actual look of it. That's sort of a personal matter again. Sort of nice bombed out area, of course, subject to Allied bombardment, but who shall be fighting when in the southern corner? We are seeing Allied forces, we are seeing Nuxor, yes indeed Nuxor, fighting for the 3rd Infantry Division, going back against Stein87 of the 77th Infanterie Division, fighting for the glory of the Wehrmacht and the Fatherland and the Third Reich. In fact, let's get right down to it, and of course a quick note, I've certainly been getting a few more replays, certainly helpful, but of course note the whole 50 minutes limit, as I sort of hopefully put at the end of course, this sort of little piece of text there is, it's a technical limit. I mean, beyond that, and the computer really begins acting funny. More particularly Windows Movie Maker. And yes, I know some of you have suggested, well, why don't you pirate something? And already they ought to have the answer. I like to keep a bit of integrity, and of course don't make shortcuts like that. So of course, for now again, 15-minute limits. Yes, I know someone might be feeling, well, you know, but please make an exception for me, sir. Can't I have a few minutes more? And I'm going to have to say no. Also because, and that's perhaps one of the things you less here talked about, I shouldn't have mentioned it earlier in the start, but, well, you know, the sweet spot for a good game is about 30 to 40 minutes, preferably around the 40 or beyond that, and things usually tend to be that long because something didn't quite go right and the two players are seemingly unable to really finish. And of course tends to be leaving things a bit more of mucking about. American commander here right in the beginning going straight for the fuel point apparently. In fact he's going for a 3 engineer start and now going for some riflemen. That's certainly a bit more interesting. He's certainly delaying his infantry a bit. We are seeing Volkskriegs coming out, the first of the 77th Infantry, which did fought somewhere in Normandy against the Americans, fought in the Cotentin Peninsula and were one of the few to actually sort of get reasonably alive out of there. So a bit of fun facts there. Pioneers moving about, full engineers securing what they can, rather heavy sort of focus on the west. Of course it is more defensible, but note of course the resources are of a much lower value than say for example the east, where they are of a higher value, but at the same time there aren't really any sort of buildings you can sort of hang on to. So it's a sort of you know, what do you want? Do you want easy to hold resources, or do you want, you know, more valuable ones, but you know, a bit harder to actually sort of establish a defensive position about, but at the same time though, really pushing for some lots of map control, taking as much as possible, pushing in fact on a wide front at this stage. Pioneers are moving about, taking up position here. Peekaboo, I see you. And we are seeing a bit of barbed wire going down here, interestingly enough. Further Volkskriegs is arriving to the front. Riflemen now sneaking towards the east. No real action so far. There we go. Cut-off point could be taken. There we go. Volkskriegs could in fact provide cover. More barbed wire here. Not entirely sure why Stein is providing barbed wire right there. Of course, you might want to protect the munition point, but of course you also need something there then. You could of course just ensure the enemy can't get close. A bit of sandbags actually. He's using the Volkskriegs to take the point. Not a bad idea. The Volkskriegs. Oh wait, engineers moving in, trying to be a bit cheeky and immediately running into the building right here. Of course, meaning they can't just be quickly taken out, but of course, Volkskriegs can open up on them. Americans, in the meanwhile, continuing to securing the east. Really good map control there. This could, of course, turn out to be a bit of a problem for Stein. Hauptmann Stein of the 77th. Sounds really awesome, I suppose. Further fighting here. Pioneers running into riflemen, swiftly booted off the map. 2 riflemen team, a 3rd one could be on the way for Nuxor. There we go. MG42 on the way for Stein. Further fighting here, 1 engineer down. He might want to consider evacuating this building. Of course, note, if it has more doors, of course, click on the actual icon of the unit, press U, or click on the unload button, and of course, click the door you actually want to exit off. Don't just right-click, which is certainly the other way. In which case, there we go. He gets out of the right door, so he might, of course, actually be aware of that. Rifleman trying to flank in here, but getting stopped by the MG42.
Engineer unit lost.
Engineers, in fact, got cut down. That was less fortunate. Volkskriegs might want to considering quickly pushing through. Americans already seizing most of the map, in fact. And some might, in fact, be getting, yes, flamethrowers. Pretty early with that. Instead, we are seeing Stein laying down some mines. And Volkswagen's hanging about here. Might want to consider moving about a bit quicker, you know, being a bit offensive, being a bit aggressive, trying to push the Americans where the true. No, we are seeing engagement here. Flamethrower engineers now moving in. Mines awfully close. Pioneers need to get out of there. Volkswagen is moving in, flanking the American positions. Don't move, although some of them are standing out in the open, but they're getting themselves flanked by other Americans. Flank on flank on flank. Oh dear. And the center sort of open. We are seeing further Volkswagens from Stein about here. A bit of a Mexican standoff there. MG42 now providing countering fire from there. And there we go. Engineers hitting a mine. Pinned. Also note these people are about around level 10, so they're not complete novices, but you know, not the heavy ranking. Again, I'm not really getting any sort of higher level games at the moment, at least none I'd rather feel worthy of. Might be interesting to watch, you know, so my apologies, but again, you know, until someone provides, I can't really magic them up, you know. I'm not a conjurer, as I rather feel sometimes having to say quite a bit. Pushing onwards, though, not really heavy losses for the Americans. I mean, Stein is being a bit, you know, conservative, but there we go. One man down, one Volksgrenadier down. In fact, could have moved up here. Instead, he's sort of keeping himself out in the open the longest time. That's also something you have to be careful about, you know, how long you're in fact moving about in open cut ground against the enemy. I mean, that's also something like that why I can help with. We are seeing some sandbags here, but again, he's in fact spraying out his Volkswagen a bit. That can be dangerous. That can in fact be very dangerous. Of course, we'll have to see what he'll do. Seems though a bit too passive right now. He's in fact going for a creep out. He also has a Kampfkraft sensor up. Pioneers moving eastwards. Not entirely sure what Stein is up to. More sandbags. Yes, indeed. We're in fact also seeing some MP40s, the machine pistol 40.
The Huns are taking our territory.
And some riflemen in heavy cover. Volkswagen is charging in. This could end up badly, or it could end up well. Oh dear, another Volkswagen down. Get up to cover. Oh dear, our Volkswagen seem completely lost. That was a pretty bad charge, you know. Probably should have retreated, you know.
Now support rapid.
He really needs to be as close as possible. Those MP40s to get the most out of them. This is not looking good. Volkswagen riflemen engaging. How shall the Volkswagen react to this? They seem a bit unsure. Now getting attacked by other riflemen from the south. Not looking good at all. Krieg barracks is up. Volkswagen is retreating. Stein needs to get his collective arms together and push forward. He has been a bit too timid, a bit too passive, and a bit too silly so far. The American, on the other hand, has been quite good in pushing. At the same time, though, he probably could do with more mines. A lot more mines, and he also needs to get these riflemen moving. You know, not stand about doing nothing. That's generally not the most useful thing. Half track ready. Apparently somehow able to get a half track, perhaps, you know, laying about in some warehouse in the Contention Peninsula. Who knows, perhaps part of a training and then forgotten. The 77th Infanterie Division certainly did not have any as such. But again, half track moving forward, opening up on these riflemen, charging in, MG blazing. Volkswagen's moving in to support. You should certainly consider getting something else, a bit more extra. Getting some veterans here apparently, but they might want to get some grenadiers or perhaps a Pack 38. He's certainly, you know, not seen any BARs for his American opponent, no grenades or anything. He certainly hasn't been bleeding him of manpower. So I mean, an M8 shouldn't, you know, be the thing. So this should be the most surprising thing that might happen. And looks like he's going assault. He's going blitzkrieg, and he's launching some grenades at these riflemen. MP40 is moving in. I don't know, was he? Not entirely sure. No, apparently not. Riflemen are taking heavy losses. Oh dear, rifleman team could be going down. No, apparently he just barely makes it there. And then the Volkswagen set off a mine. Good job there. More mines from Nuxor. That's certainly helpful. Of course, the half-track nearby will certainly help with keeping the Volkswagen at full strength. Pioneers moving in here. Again, he seems to be a bit forgetting his units, both sides, you know. Take points, remember. No, I'm not going for the tactical map, you know. Take an OD and M8 Greyhound moving in. Opening up on the Volkswagen. Will they be able to get off a Panzerfaust to stop this wretched hound from hell? And there we go. Well, their only damage is barely. Of course, the Greyhound does quickly pull away, not quite feeling that confident either. And meanwhile, the West Americans are pushing through. Again, a bit of lack in mining could be good here. What's going on here? Perhaps some more units, perhaps some grenadiers. Would be good. Half-track moving out once more. Pioneers in these finally moving about. No medic stations or medic bunkers. No, he's in fact getting a Pack 38, but he's still lacking in infantry. Moving forwards. Forwards. And these American troops are just standing about. A bit of a mismove there, but the M8 is there. Could get Panzerfausted again. Or not. Oh dear, half-track gets sticky bomb. Volkskriegsstein in quite a bit of trouble. Needs to retreat. Oh dear, this is a mess. And the half-track did not make it. Although the M8 commands a fire from the Pack 38. It looks like the Pack 38, the M8 just gets away. No idea why he didn't get those other Volkskriegs out of the half-track. Now he's charging in his pioneers as well. Oh dear, what are you doing, Stein? You Dummkopf. And the pioneer team went down. That was pretty grim. But at least he's making some progress in the east and of course losing at the same time. Stormtroopers now apparently being prepared. Oh no, he's instead going for some grenadiers. Not waiting a few more seconds to get the Stormtroopers, who are essentially like grenadiers, except they have bigger grenades and they are more tough. Pioneers coming under fire. Oh dear, and there's absolutely no infantry to support them. Come on, Stein, fight for the fatherland. Don't waste your pioneers. Americans pushing onwards for Uncle Sam. Come on. Yes, your Volkskriegs getting reinforced.
Grenadiers, this is not a drill.
Penny bit of veterancy for the support units. Grenadiers ready, getting a Panzerschreck. Going towards the east. Right. Pickup truck in the background. M8 getting repaired. We might be seeing yes indeed a second M8 up for Nuxor. Quick and swift counter-attack grenadiers drop the first rifleman they see with a few precise shots from the Kar-98Ks. Rifleman getting hunted down. And Panzerschreck ready. Volksgrenadiers charging in. M8 moving in, I suspect, to try and assist. The other one not doing anything. Not entirely sure what he's doing. He seems a bit keen on just charging in after one rifleman team, you know. Standing about too much in the open. Careful now, Stein. Careful. Pack 38 unable to really do much. And now moving in here. M8 number 2 blasting away, firing away with 50 caliber and 37mm. More riflemen arriving to support veterans 1 in fact, and nothing going on here. I mean, you probably could send in the M8 and no, the MG42 in fact pulled away. Nice little move there.
We're ready to close with the enemy.
Another Pack 30 on the way for Stein. Bit quiet here. We are in fact seeing a weapon support center going up for Nuxor. Quite interesting. Might be getting a sniper, might be getting a machine gun, might be getting a mortar. A bit of too cautious behavior on either side. Could do with more aggression. That really seems to be a problem here. And certainly very necessary on the behalf of the American. Otherwise, they might give the Wehrmacht commander too much time to build up, deliver a serious blow. At the same time, you know, we aren't really seeing any mines, which is also a bit of a problem for the American. If he gets hit with that grenade going off, killing several Americans. Pack 38 ready. Grenadiers seem a bit too unsure, actually trying to get close and hit that M8 with a Panzerschreck. Dear rifleman coming under fire. We are seeing BARs now ready for Nuxor. Nothing going on here in the weapon support center. I do bloody well hope he uses it. No point in building a building if you're not going to use it.
Our forward supply lines are broken.
Now riflemen are sneaking in from the flank but running into grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers. Grenade. Oh, they're awfully climbing up with that. Oh, 2 down. And M8 coming under fire. What shall he do? What shall he do? Another Pack 38 moving in to hunt it down. And the M8 charges at the Pack 38. And the Pack 38 misses. Absolutely terrible. And he takes the long round around with the Pack 38 to try and support this one. Not entirely sure why he's moving it like that. Things looking a bit grim, getting hit from all sides since infantry in the east are being surrounded. Stein, what are you doing? Oh dear, and his grenadiers are left behind in an absolute mess. And the M8 is under control, but not before it manages with its 50 caliber to tear through the remaining gunners on the Pak 38. Not very good right there. But they are still alive, or at least quickly recruit. Still floating a bit of resources. And Stein really needs to push. Perhaps getting medic bunker as well, but again he seems much too passive here, you know, much too hanging about. And not really achieving much. In fact, he has got more grenadiers, but doesn't quite seem to be using it. In particular now that one M8 is down, he really could be making some aggressive moves. In fact, we're seeing a sniper ready for the American. For Nuxor, the 3rd Infantry Division. Finally seeing a bit of movement right here. Pak 38 inching up once more. Volkskriegs's getting reinforced. Come on, Stein. Attack. Show yourself to be a grenadier, Commander. StuG, we're in fact going up for Stein. Interesting. But a bit too slow this is.
The enemy is seizing our territory.
And there we go. Troops getting sniped. Others getting shot up. And what will Stein do? I don't know. StuG armory is ready. Grenadiers taking quite heavy losses, trying to lob a grenade at the sniper, damages him a bit, but that's about it. No attempt at salvaging the munitions from this M8. Again, no real attempt at pushing through. Might be going for StuG 42, but my goodness, Stein, you really need to get a bit more aggressive. Oh, he's Nuxor is charging. Oh, might perhaps. Oh dear, I think he forgot about those riflemen and then just send them straight into this massacre as they were absolutely gunned down ruthlessly.
The Yankees are grabbing our
StuG
territory.
42 almost ready.
What are your orders?
If that is what he's going for. Moving in for the cut-off right there, coming under fire from riflemen. Several BARs left behind there. Grenadiers have been reinforced. He's still floating 500 manpower. Come on. Use it. Use it. Riflemen charging right at the Volkskriegs with MP40s. And we are seeing assault. We are seeing lots of grenades simply getting lobbed. And the rifleman team absolutely vanishes. And the engineers. Oh, dear. That was an absolute massacre done right there by the Volkskriegs with their MP40s. But now coming under fire from other riflemen. Oh dear, oh dear. And why is he floating these men that many resources? There we go, StuG 42 on the way from the StuG abteilung 902. Which could have actually been fighting in support of the 77th Infanterie Division. Come on. And let's try again, there we go. We are sort of imagining this is fighting taking place in the Cotentin Peninsula, which was rather the fight for the first sort of harbor the Americans could capture, the port of Cherbourg. Ow. And oh. And yeah, sorry for the loss of a few seconds of action, but Fraps decided to be, well, quite a pain in the arse. Not much to do about that. StuG 42 advancing against the evil Americans. Doesn't quite hit anything actually though. Grenadiers picking up those two BARs so helpfully left behind by those other Americans. Look, Heinz presents from Uncle Sam. And it was Pak 38's covering. MG42 slowly advancing Grenadiers. Volksgrenadiers. Other Volksgrenadiers. Looks like he might be making a push for the center. Grenadiers leading with their BAR. StuG 42 moving in. Veterans Yvonne for that. Has to be a bit careful. Oh dear, he's too close. He's getting sticky bomb. We are seeing assault from the Grenadiers though. Although I think a regular grenade could just have been as good. There we go. Stunning. Though taking losses, getting sniped. More fire from the StuG 42. M8s moving in from either side. Oh dear. Grenadiers and are taking pretty heavy losses. More sticky bombs on the StuG 42. Grenadiers need to retreat, retreat, and the StuG 42 is left in the middle of everything, heavily damaged, a wounded beast. Not good at all. Out of the way. Fighting for the Cotentin Peninsula, for Cherbourg, which was later turned into Festung Cherbourg in a sort of attempt to keep it out of American hands and get the troops fighting for as long as possible. And when the Americans finally got it, the harbour was utterly wrecked. So they didn't quite get as many resources on the field as they actually liked to, which is one of the things, you know, you hear a lot of people, you know, the Americans had a lot of stuff. Yeah, the trouble was, what most people forget is they actually had a lot of trouble getting that stuff anywhere, partly because, you know, because, you know, they couldn't just get it off on the beaches as easily, and the fact that afterwards, of course, they had to get it inland, which was a bit of trouble when they'd blown up all the railroads and everything else, in fact. There we go, and let's return to Nuxor. Let's, in fact, have a mid-game analysis situation. And right, my apologies. Apparently, Fraps just decided about this time to just sort of switch off, so I had to go back and then watch everything at 8 times speed back to this point. And here we are again, so apologies for there might be some slight desynchronization. Again, some seconds lost or seen again. I'm just not apparently being any lucky today. Fraps just deciding to really push it like as much as possible. And Christ, if Fraps was an actual person, I'd be beating the living snot out of it. Let's get to the action, let's get to the fighting. Pushing through here in the west, Stein still needs to get a bit more aggressive, and certainly also needs to be a bit more careful at the same time. StuG moving out. Moving about a bit. Then we are seeing an M8 here as well, opening up on some pioneers, rather unfortunately on their own. Stein, what are you doing? Oh dear. And the American commander seems again to be doing nothing. He's not laying down barbed wire tank traps, which certainly could have been helping him quite a bit, or mines. That's quite a bit of a mistake right there by Stein. By Nuxor. Stein advancing with his Sturmgeschütz. Hitting a mine in the process. Absolutely amazing. And the M8 just seems to be sort of going up against the Sturmgeschütz. Not quite the best idea. Grenadiers moving in from the other side, firing away the Pantrick. Sticky bomb on the StuG rifle and forced retreat. Will the Pantrick or will the StuG get it? Apparently neither. Incredible. Well, I'm sure the M8 is...
Artillery support is now available.
If I didn't know better, I'd think you're alive, in which case I'm going to do terrible things to you one day. It just so happens to be on the day when I didn't get enough sleep due to some rather unfortunate things happening. Mostly a party was kept involving drunk people shouting at completely random hours of the night. We are seeing an armored car moving forward. Die schwere Panzerspähwagen available for the Wehrmacht. Riflemen coming under heavy fire. A bit of a nasty situation. Although an anti-tank on his ready, sniper opening up on the full screen is. And we are seeing a bit of fighting here. What's not really much there, but they are fighting from a safer point. Although against Veterans, two riflemen, full screens moving in. They could charge the anti-tank and clear it out, opening up for the armored car. Although the armored car has a damaged engine, Grenadiers and the StuG getting repaired. Come on, attack those riflemen. Panzerix flying, but they can't seem to hit the cover, thus making the riflemen more vulnerable. M8 on the move through the center. And the Pak 38s are a bit too late back, not there to provide fire support for the front. Bad move, I think. Riflemen, though, now in a lot of trouble, coming out of here, fire from the Grenadiers. Slowly pulling back. Volksgrenadiers getting slaughtered in the center without support from Pak 38s. Oh, Stein. Dummkopf, get out of there. Volksgrenadiers barely making it out of their line. Armor car not getting repaired. Sturmgeschütz could be moving towards the center. Anti-tank gun still moving about. Nuxor pushing in. Troops. Rangers not arriving as well, in fact. Not getting submachine guns. He has got plenty of munitions, though. The mate might be hoping to get around the StuG. The StuG. Oh, bugger. And where are the Grenadiers to support it? They're still in there. Come on. Stein. We're seeing a lot of things getting produced up here by Stein, but question is, what is it, and will it actually be of help to him? Rangers now moving forwards. Bazooka rockets flying. StuG opening up, hitting a rail car instead. And we are seeing riflemen moving in to flank. There's not enough troops to cover it, and the false others are standing out in the open. Come on, move in. Grenades getting locked at the Rangers, though. Oh, it's an assault. He's launching 2 assaults. One towards the east and one towards the south to counter-attack. Quite a few grenades, and the grenadiers inside there were not pulled out. Bad move. Oh, Stein, unit preservation. Please. Where are the other units to support? Why aren't you moving in your armored car, for example, to provide a bit of fire from the rear lines? Instead, he ends up getting his StuG immobilized, his grenadiers slaughtered. Oh, Stein, you absolute tosspot. Volkswagen reinforced and half-track and StuG in the base, but he's not doing anything with them. And this one is stranding out in the open. Almost out. M8 could also be knocking out, but doesn't seem to be happening. Main gun destroyed. Finally moving out some units from his base. Oh, Stein. Come on. And the Pack 38 is still not there to provide any support. You could in fact end up losing the armored car as well. Get it out of there, Stein. And of course he's still not doing anything with that Pack 38. Why is he moving the StuG over there? And of course unsupported. You don't move your StuGs unsupported like that. Now he's losing pioneers. Oh, Stein, you absolute clock winder.
We're ready.
Now the Pack 38 of course is utterly exposed because the units it could have helped are now gone, and of course that also means there's nothing to screen it. Oh, well, yes, again, apologies for this, but of course I didn't really have a lot of else of other games, and so it's been some time we've seen this map. So again, you know, if you want higher level games, you know, send them in, of course, ensure there, you know, not 50 minutes of the exact same thing happening throughout. Of course, a very, very one-sided game, which rather seems to be the only thing I'm getting as of late, except games from Stein. And of course, sort of mid-level games, of course, still available, but you know, I mean, I really don't get what Stein is doing half the time. It's, I mean, half-track still staying about, no usage of it, no pioneers perhaps man the guns. Infantry moving out towards these, instead sending in stormtroopers towards the west. MG42 covering here. Of course, it could be focusing a bit more here. Americans are killing, in fact, while they can in the west. You're going right at the StuG. False grenades need support. Move in. Intersperse yourself. MG42 covering. StuG just barely gets out.
Losing ground out there.
Infantry advances, although this is a bit of a nasty situation. Good for artillery, though. And the M8 moves in, though, getting hit by the StuG. StuG moves in, comes under fire from Rangers, M8, and the 57mm anti-tank gun. StuG takes a bit of a hit. Stormtroopers from the 17th SS have arrived. Of course, SS Panzer Grenadiere. Equipped with a few assault rifles. Riflemen getting suppressed, though. StuG summed up. Why the full gunners are pulling completely back, I don't know. M8 now moves in. Grenadiers, full grenadiers. Sniper opens up. Where are the stormtroopers? Oh, they're perhaps hoping to sneak in and clear them out. M8 is down, kaput. The Yankee Puncher Spielwagen is kaput. Rangers moving in, but getting a bit too close to the submachine guns, and they don't have any themselves. Oh, heavy losses, getting slaughtered, massacred, murdered. And the sniper didn't get out there in time. Oh dear, heavy losses now for Nuxor. Taking quite a beating.
Losing ground out there.
And another M8 needs to get out of there. Nuxor, get the bloody hell out of there. Don't lose it. Oh dear, drive, damn you, drive.
They're going after a fuel point.
And there we go. In the meanwhile, Stein is pushing onwards for the fatherland. Possibly now with some of the Feldjäger pointing a gun at his head, sort of casually encouraging him to think a bit more about his troops and his future in the Third Reich and the Wehrmacht. And the house now has been prepared. The 3rd Infantry Division putting out some artillery. Firing away, not really hitting anything. Half-track putting on a mobile reinforcement point, not bad. Stormtroopers at the front. Oh, come on, Fraps. Can't I even get a bit of a pound? Oh well. Anti-tank gun could easily and swiftly be recruited by these Volksgrenadiers. Would be a good move, or at least mine it. What is he doing? Stein. Rifleman moving about here. Still no attempt to oh wait, there we are. Nuxor mining a bit. Of course, he is infantry, so could use his rifleman to lay down sandbags and tank traps would help. Although it looks like Stein is now slowly getting the upper hand once more. And he's not really doing matches in his base either. Although it looks like some more grenadiers could be on the way for the 77th. Pushing forwards in the east, riflemen getting ready for an assault. Over there's a StuG Veteran C2 now, and that could prove to be a bit of a dangerous situation now. The StuG MG should not be underestimated. Grenadiers facing off against riflemen. But if Grenadiers put a stop to that, the StuG, of course, could stop the frontal assault right there. If it's... oh dear, there we go. Absolutely slaughtering the riflemen. MG just tearing through them. M8, they're moving in towards the east. And another rifleman bites the dust. And now running into the MG as well. Grenadiers in a bit of trouble. It needs support. Off-map combat group getting prepared. Riflemen just keep hunting the StuG. And the StuG just keeps killing. And killing. Wait. Killing. Stormtrooper sneaking in. Riflemen forced back. A bit of half-track action right here. Volksgrenadiers stopping up, but not really anything else, and no pioneers to man it. We're in fact seeing some Volksgrenadiers moving in there. Now equipped with the light machine gewehr 42, well, the MG42. The whole light and heavy is sort of basically just to sort of differentiate between the different, basically, you know, either it wasn't a bipod or it was a tripod. That was it, actually. It was sort of a universal machine gun. Not just for sort of one thing. Oh, the artillery moving in on the StuG and the Stormtroopers doing a bit of damage. The Stormtroopers need to retreat. And the StuG moves in on its own. Why isn't he supporting it? It's a StuG, not a Panzer IV. Oh dear, this could be the end, my friend. Well, at the same time pushing through here a bit. Doing a bit of harassment. Will the StuG make it out of their life? Pack 38 slowly turning. And the... oh dear, the StuG bit the dust. Rifleman getting suppressed, killed. And the M8 coming under fire. Artillery could be prepared. Apparently not. Otherwise, you know, good artillery target. Several MGs. A Pack 38. Not a bad spot. In fact, there we go. Artillery on the Schwerpunkt right there in the east. What it looks like. He might be able to get in some Tiger tanks, Mr. Stein. Oh dear, these grenadiers are taking quite a beating. They need to retreat, get reinforced, and get a medic pack. Further fighting here, rifle moving about. Oh dear, the Volksgrenadiers going to flank. No, the grenadiers are actually moving in. Oh dear, that could be dangerous. And the anti-tank gun is there as well. He's actually moving in. Those awfully wounded grenadiers, absolutely insane. And looks like he's actually just saving together manpower. That's actually not a bad thing, you know. Don't just go spending a lot of resources. If you want a Tiger or an off-map combat group, just save the resources, then call it in, then begin reinforcing again. I mean, that thing might actually help you in the longer run. Otherwise, you can end up in this sort of constantly having to reinforce. Half-track opening up. And with a few Volksgrenadiers and others moving in for the assault. No, actually, never mind. He now is actually just reinforcing. Oh, come on. A bit of consistency, Stein. Stopping a bit there. Artillery moving in. Oh, dear. Heavy losses. Half-track out to retreat. Come on, there we go. The left wing of Stein's 77th has collapsed. They're moving on in the east with Stormtroopers and Grenadiers. MG42 sending up. Stormtroopers moving in. Grenadiers with BARs also there to support. Riflemen taking quite... oh my goodness, just getting cut down like stalks of wheat.
Losing a sector.
And looks like Stein is awfully low on victory points. He needs to turn the tide if he wants to succeed. And if he also is very keen on the Feldjäger not taking him away to a Strafkompanie. And there you go, a Tiger. He summoned a Tiger to assist. That should prove interesting. Although let's speed this up a bit before Fraps decides to put another fit. Rangers charging in on their own, unsupported right into the MG and the Stormtroopers, of course, note. As you fire up, of course, you avoid suppression, but at the same time, suppression actually makes your troops harder to hit. Oh, come on. And let's try again. There we go. M8 M8 again. Tiger tank moving through, stormtroopers as well. And clearing out the anti-tank gun with a few shots. First guys moving in to support the Tiger tank perhaps. No, come on. Careful now, you don't want to get it sticky bombed already. Apparently lobbing a bundle grenade after a few engineers seems a bit wasteful to me, in particular when they just retreated like that. Forces ready, might want to move up to support the Tiger advance. Grenadiers in the meanwhile on the eastern half. Running into a bit of problem, you know, Stein, move on. Don't just stand about again, you know. Don't be passive with units, don't just have several units just standing about doing nothing. That's really a major problem. And again, train yourself to sort of constantly do something with them. Take a point, lay down sandbags or barbed wire if possible or whatever. But don't just have several troops standing about when you could be taking points right next to you. Of course, keep them, you know, covering each other. And another mine right there, and the Grenadiers hit the exact same mine. Absolutely terrible now. Artillery going in against the Stormtroopers and Volksgrenadiers. Oh dear, some of the Stormtroopers. Well, oh. This just isn't my day. Oh well. Tiger moving in. Rifleman getting absolutely splattered across the ground. Not Hank, even Hank survived that one.
The enemy is seizing our territory.
MG42 is still alive actually. Somehow, I'm not entirely sure how that actually happened. And he's not pushing. He's just sort of moving about now. Will he actually then be taking points or what? At least I hope he's doing something, Stein.
Supply lines are broken. We have territory cut off from supply.
Again, flooding a bit of resources. He could go get more veterans for his infantry or for his armor. But just do something. No, instead he's calling in another StuG-42. And Fraps really needs to be careful. Oh dear. And the Tiger stands there as the riflemen charge at it, absolutely wiping them half the squad out with a single high explosive shell. Minor fighting here, StuG-42 moving in, M8. Not entirely sure why he keeps pointing the pack in the wrong direction right there. Why he isn't supporting his Tiger in a bit more proper manner. StuG-42 fires and absolutely misses. Grenadiers with MG42 could move in to support the Tiger, so could the Stormtroopers. Support the Tiger, and the M8 is down. The Infantry 2 M8 is finally kaput. Anti-tank gun ready for Nuxor. Rangers. Right, lots of engineers, a few riflemen. But they were actually doing now. The Tiger moves in on its own without support. Stein, what are you doing? And he's exposing its rear armor to the anti-tank gun. Stein. No. Bad Stein. It does manage to do a bit of damage, but now the Americans are moving in for the kill. And he's turning it about. Oh dear, and it's getting sticky. Oh, he's exposing the rear. No. And he's still not supporting it. There we go. Blitzkrieg in an attempt to get out. And again, exposing the rear. And again, if he had just supported it with the infantry, it might have done like that. And he's keeping the infantry at bay. Move in. Protect the Tiger. And now he does it. Oh dear, and the Tiger's out of control. Grenadiers and Stormtroopers, light machine guns and assault rifles firing. That was just very, very tragic. I'm certainly Stein is going to have a bit of work of explaining how he bloody well lost a Tiger. So Stein, how did you lose that Tiger? Well, I sent it in on its own. You absolute bastard! There we go. Quick recap of how that conversation is going to go. And it's not like, you know, he was lacking in things to support it. He had it right next to it. It wasn't like he was a desperate situation, yet still he sent in a Tiger unsupported. Not good at all. And now his Grenadiers and Stormtroopers sort of hang about there. Minor fighting here in the east. Artillery pounding the positions. Americans moving in. And artillery getting called in. Stormtroopers need to get out of there. Oh dear, one man down. And there go the others retreating. And he's actually keeping his troops in sight. That's not a bad idea, actually. Artillery can, in some cases, actually do absolutely no damage to the troops inside unless you actually move them outside of the building. In fact, the artillery doesn't actually seem to be hitting. So there we go, holding out against an American assault. Rangers moving in. Getting out just as the grenade lands. Good, good. Quickly getting in again. Full scales moving in support. And an assault going in there. Rangers cut down on retreat. And the StuG-42 moving in. Unsupported. Stein, what did you just see happen to your Tiger? So why on earth are you moving in your StuG-42 unsupported? I mean, usually you see people learning from their own actions. A bit there. Let's just speed this up. This is... The American just looks a bit cut up in his own base. Stein could be moving in his Tiger, but it doesn't. He doesn't actually do much at all. Just loses that StuG-42. Out of control. Kaputt, nicht mehr. And for some reason, Nuxor pulls out, perhaps feeling he's lost. And of course, that could certainly be it with another Tiger on the field. But there we go. What can we learn from them with this? Well, you know, be more aggressive. Even as the Wehrmacht, you know, you are this sort of more defensive thing. You have to be aggressive. Otherwise, you know, the American will outmaneuver you. I mean, that's really the American strength. That's really always one of the things that can be helped with the Wehrmacht in the beginning. You know, it's keeping things safe. You know, keeping a steady line. And that was rather one of the problems with Stein. You know, he kept a bit too quiet. He didn't try to hunt down the Americans, do some damage enough. So some mistakes there, not very good unit preservation, some poor usage of cover, and of course sending in his armored assets unsupported, in particular the ones that really needed, like the StuG, and the Tiger. That was absolutely terrible, not something you should be seeing, and he certainly needs to work on that if he actually wants to get any higher on the ranking. Of course, the American certainly made his own share of mistakes. Well, he did get some, but he could have done with the Trier Center, he could have done with the medic station, certainly a medic bunker for Stein as well. More mines, tank traps, sandbags, all that. But of course, could also have been used on both sides. But there we go. Hope you enjoyed it, I really do. And of course, any apologies for this. It's just not been my day. And of course, I'll hopefully bring something better tomorrow. So there you go. Cheers.